Welcome to the October edition of Ask the Athletic Director. I'm Andy MacWilliams, and with me is Xavier AD Greg Christopher. Greg, I got a different look at the inside of the Cintas Center at the open house a couple of weeks ago. Courtside seating has been changed, different configuration, more seats available to the public down there. What was the reasoning? Why the change?
Yeah, you're right, Andy. We added 40 seats to the sideline and 20 on each side of where the TV crew will be, TV and radio crew. Bottom line, I would say two reasons. One is revenue. It's
the almighty dollar. We got to be.
Almighty dollar is important as revenue to the pot to help the teams. And then the second is atmosphere. You know, I think it's pretty common nowadays to have fans on the court, and it's a great experience for those fans. So we've got 40 new folks that have bought those seats. They're sold out. I don't quite know where we've put your media brethren up in the arena, but they'll be able to see still.
Those guys are getting in for free. They really don't deserve a whole lot of courtesy.
Yeah.
Not really.
No, they do a nice job for us, but the bottom line is we want fans as close to the court as we can.
The official start date for the Big East was July 1st. That's about 3 months ago. What's been happening in the interim? What's gone on with the Big East?
You know, it's been fun not only in my role, new job, new situation, but also to watch the Big East aspect of it, because, and I think people that run businesses can identify with this, for all intents and purposes, the Big East is a startup. We got the name, we got Madison Square Garden, and certainly the Fox agreement, but Val has been literally doing things as simple as getting email accounts and payroll set up. Still don't have a permanent office, so all those startup activities have been taking place behind the scenes. People think about what happens on the field or the court, but from a business standpoint, it has been very much a startup, and that's been fun to be a part of.
Xavier basketball is actually underway. The NCAA has allowed the men's team on the court earlier. The women already operated under those rules, so Amy Waugh and Chris Mack have their players out there getting ready for the season, and that means we're only a little over 2 months away from the Crosstown Classic, the annual UC game. It will be at US Bank Arena, but what's the future of that event? Where is it going to be played? Will it be played?
Good question, and I certainly hope it's going to be played. You are right in that we've got this game is the end of the 2-year contract at US Bank. And then after that, we've got to sit down and decide. Whit and I have talked a couple of times. Father Graham and Dr. Ono are going to be talking later this fall. I would hope that sometime between now and the game, you'll see an announcement that here's where the game's going to be long term. From a Xavier standpoint, we'd love to get it back on campus. I think a rivalry like that, the passion and energy that comes with it, and I realize there's some things we've got to manage, but the bottom line is I'd love to see that game back on the campus. And again, it's a rivalry that should be played. It's really a part of the fabric of this city, and again, hopefully we can work it out.
And Coach Mack is also on board about moving the game back to the campus sites.
Yeah, I think everyone at Xavier would love to have it back going home and home, and that's nothing against US Bank, but again, that environment's the best, I think, when it's done right, and again, it's a great rivalry.
Big East play on the field is actually underway. I mean, there are teams out there competing in the Big East for the first time. How is Xavier doing in the fall season?
All of our fall sports, you're right, have been up and running, from the individual sports, the tennis and golf and so forth, but probably the most visible team sports, the 2 soccers and volleyball, have all started Big East play last week, and we got our first Big East notch, so to speak. Volleyball will always be known as the first Big East victory, so it was a fun moment for the university. Volleyball beat Butler last weekend on the road, and that will forever now be the first win, first W in Big East play for Xavier.
The first public unveiling of both men's and women's basketball is coming up on October 25th. It's a Friday night. It's here at Cintas. Musketeer Madness. So what is going to be the format? How is that going to evolve?
Well, the format is still being worked out by the marketing and basketball folks, but the bottom line is it should be a fun event. We'd love to have Xavier fans here. They'll take part not only in a Xavier event, but it'll really be a national event in a way, because Fox is going to be televising this live. So they're going to have camera crews at all 10 Big East institutions. So if you're at Xavier, you're actually part of a national broadcast, and that's part of why it was linked up on October 25th from, I think it's 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. That's when the show will be on TV, and then our event will overlap with that.
Fox Sports 1 is using the Big East as one of its anchor tenants, if you will, early in its existence. And the #1 broadcast team for college basketball in the Big East is going to be Gus Johnson, the most exciting announcer in college basketball, and Bill Raftery, who comes over from where he was before, CBS, right?
Yep.
And so that's a pretty interesting anchor #1 announce team.
Well, it's a great announce team. They both bring a lot of energy, passion, excitement, and history with college sports to the table. So they'll be in the Centos Center several times throughout this winter, and that should be great. Something that's a little bit of a tangent to that, Big East Commissioner Val Ackerman is also going to be visiting. She'll be with us for our opening game against Gardner-Webb. So it'll be fun to have the commissioner in town to give her some exposure to Xavier basketball with our first game.
You know, I'm not sure what Gus Johnson's record is regarding Xavier games in NCAA tournaments, but it's not that favorable. I mean, there was a game against Louisville, a game against Duke, and I think Gus is a great announcer, but it's about time that Xavier racked up some W's with Gus Johnson at the mic.
Well, new chapter with the Big East, and hopefully we'll get that.
Greg, thanks for being with us
this
month. We'll be back in November, and we hope you join us then for the next edition of Ask the Athletic Director.